Hey, this is Christian Buckley, Microsoft Regional Director and Office Apps and Services MVP. And I am here today with Sue Hanley, another Office Apps and Services MVP, an information architect and knowledge management expert and consultant. And we're talking on the topic of modern intelligent intranets as part of the ESPC community. Sue, thanks for talking to me today.
Thanks, Christian.
All right, here's question number one. We're at an inflection point with moving our classic SharePoint intranets to the modern user experience. We've been talking, only a couple of years we've been talking about that, but we're at this point. What do people need to be thinking about to make sure that they and their organizations are ready?
Well, that's a great question because that's what I'm going to be talking about in my session. So at ESPC, my 30-minute session is all about what should be on your shopping list for your modern intelligent intranet. What do you need to think about? How do you need to prepare your organization? And how should you be envisioning that project?
Well, excellent. I mean, I guess that just brings up a lot of questions about what you're going to actually be covering. But I guess one important thing, obviously, with Ignite that's behind us now, an amazing number of announcements across different workloads. So question number two, how did Ignite 2020 change your thinking about what you recommend to clients on preparing for the modern intelligent intranet?
So Ignite 2020 didn't so much change my thinking, but it changed sort of what's available, the art of the possible, and what you can now do easily without custom code or a third-party solution or a whole lot of work or work around. So what did Ignite do for this presentation? It meant that I had to completely redo not what's on my shopping list, but how to get what was on my shopping list. So huge impact and opportunity, and it's super exciting that a lot of my items on my list that were wish lists are now actual on my list.
Well, some examples, Sue. I mean, there's, I don't know if you've been on one of the other panels that's being captured for the event. So it's great. I love hearing from other MVPs, especially on kind of what were your takeaways, because I might have honed in on 4 or 5 things, and then to hear somebody else and be like, oh, and this, I'm like, I completely missed that item. So what were kind of some of the standouts from the event for you?
So for me, there were a bunch of different things. I specialize in intranets. So one of the things that all of the clients that I have that are planning intranets really care about is news distribution. And there was a lot of information, a lot of really exciting announcements about what you can do with news, how you can distribute news, how to make news more visible in a variety of places. And I think that is sort of super exciting for people who are planning modern intranets. And of course, I don't want to give away a few of my most favorite things. You'll have to come to my session to learn about them. But there were 2 items, wishy items, on my shopping list that are now going to be real, if not super soon, early next year.
That's always cool. I mean, obviously, there's things that we hear about, especially as MVPs. We hear about as they start thinking about things, sometimes even years in advance, or they'll announce something, and then a year later, we're like, what's going on, Microsoft? It's not on my tenant yet, kind of things. But and that's why it seems like it's not just Ignite, but each of the major Microsoft events, there seem to be major milestones across all of these areas, but especially SharePoint and Teams and OneDrive and kind of everything in the collaboration sector. Well, so question number 3. For people starting to build their strategy for a modern intelligent intranet, where should people start?
Well, of course, I think they should start by watching the session that I spent all this time recording, because honestly, the shopping list items are pretty standard for an intranet of any size, any scope, any organization. It's just sort of good practices for how to think about it, how to prepare your organization, how to really set up your team to think about what we need to do. So I am super excited to be able to share these ideas and looking forward to feedback from people who watch the presentation.
And that's just to clarify, if you did kind of get the gist of Sue's commentary there, is that you're not going to go and find the shopping list down on a blog post. You've got to go to the session. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to give away everything in the prep video. So I think it's important to, watch the session.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sue, well, thanks a lot so much for your time today. Hopefully, I'll see you sooner rather than later. Next time you're out in Park City, we need to, get together. We always say we're going to, but then I
I
never.
know.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Sue.
Thanks, Christian.